Recently, Gege Akutami, author of Jujutsu Kaisen, and Kohei Horikoshi, author of My Hero Academia, have both recently recommended two new manga running in Shonen Jump, with Gege recommending Mamayuyu and Kohei Horikoshi recommending Kagurabachi. I personally find this some very interesting news, and I just wanted to give a few of my thoughts on it and why this could be happening. But yeah, that's sort of story there. So let's move over to Twitter, where, as you'll see here, if I can get everything pulled up on time, which for me may be a little bit of a problem at a certain point. So as we see here, this is the unofficial Shonen Jump news account. This guy on Twitter, he's great. They do constant updates to a lot of, like, almost every Shonen Jump series. And I initially saw this here, I think it was February 1st, whenever there's a few promo images here of Mamayuyu Volume 1. And as we see here, there's a little banner on the bottom of the volume pretty much saying that Gege Akutami is recommending Mamayuyu by Yoshihiko Hayashi in the series as Volume 1. And it says that Gege says that this is what he considers for a manga to have good taste, and that Hayashi Sensei will be a turning point for Jump, right? And also, we see that Gege Akutami has drawn a very cool little image of Minerva here. This is really cool. Minerva is my favorite character in Mamayuyu so far. So sort of see Gege spin on that is pretty interesting. And if we jump over here, we see that Kohei Horikoshi has done the same exact thing for Kagurabachi. As we just see here, Kohei Horikoshi, My Hero Academia, is recommending Kagurabachi by Takeruzu Honozako in the series' Volume 1. Of course, everybody here in these states knows about Kagurabachi because this series got memed on so much that uh, everybody knows about it, right? You can't escape some of the great Kagurabachi memes that are out there. But Horikoshi says that he is amazed by the movie-like compositions and that Hokazono knows what it means to be cool, and sort of knowing what Kagurabachi is about and some of the crazy art panels and, like Kohei says here, the movie-like compositions. This is very interesting to see. But there's a few surface level things that I sort of wonder about when it comes to this, right? So first off, why is Jump promoting these series? Of course, we've seen this many times before with manga artists going and saying, like, hey, this series is good, go check it out. And then if there are big manga artists, like here with Jujutsu Kaisen and My Hero Academia, which are two of the biggest manga in Jump, I mean, they are probably arguably second and third. I'll let you debate on which one is which. I personally like My Hero better, and My Hero has been running longer. But as we all know, Jujutsu Kaisen has become a monolith with better sales than My Hero in Jump's recent history, and of course, I think is getting over Oda's masterpiece, right? So the big deal is, why are they doing this, right? Of course, promotion aspects, and the one thing I find interesting about this is who is recommending what series. To me personally, I don't know if this will go for many others, but Jujutsu Kaisen feels a lot more like Kagurabachi than Mamayuyu, and vice versa. Mamayuyu feels a lot more like My Hero Academia than a Kagurabachi. So this is the interesting part of this to me, is why are these recommending you? Of course, this is just be something by Shueisha to say, like, hey, Gege, we're just going to use your likeness here to recommend this series, because as we'll see in a second, both of these series in their Volume 1 debuts have been doing pretty good, with one obviously doing a lot better than the other, but it's just a question of why they're doing this. I know I've said it a few times now, but why did Kohei Horikoshi recommend Kagurabachi? I personally think this was just Sueisha using their image or using their image to recommend a different type of series. Because Kagurabachi does sort of have that sort of rough looking art style in a way that Jujutsu Kaisen has, and both of, like, the more bloodshed and all of that sort of deal, like, I don't know how many guys Shiro's already killed in the first, like, volume of Kagurabachi, but it's probably close to the initial parts of Jujutsu Kaisen. And then same thing, just like the cartoony art style. I'm going to say that, and not in a negative way, but just more of that bubbly, rounded art style of My Hero Academia, going back to Mamayuyu. They really remind me of each other. And initially, Mamayu's initial chapters have reminded me a lot of My Hero Academia. So I just do find that really interesting in who is recommending what there, right? So that's pretty interesting. So yeah, that is really what it is there. But as we're going to go here to another tweet by the unofficial Weekly Shonen Jump manga account, this is very interesting. As we see here in the Weekly Shonen Jump shows Sheki ranking of 222, the first day of these volumes, Kagurabachi has debuted at number 4. So this is obviously a new monolith in Jump, right? Very few series get their first volume to number 4, right? Like that is just an insane amount of sales. And then going to spot number 25, where we see that Mamayuyu is, this series is also doing really well for Jump, and while I don't think this is because Gege or Horikoshi initially recommended them, yes, it's very interesting. And then we see Two on Ice here, which is at 181. Yeah, that series is getting canceled soon, but that's just the interesting part of Kagurabachi Mamayuyu. These are obviously going to stay around Indie Magazine for a while. With debut numbers like this, those aren't going anywhere whatsoever. So that is most likely why Jump knew this would happen, and thus use these two manga artists to try to come in and say, hey, all right, we're going to try to keep these series around because these two could be the next big thing for Jump. And then we see here for the second day of Shosheki, which is February 3rd, we see that Kagabachi has dropped down to the 17th spot and Mamayuyu to the 52nd spot. But that is still really good altogether for day twos. We will have to see when the initial sales number come back up for what actually is going on with Mamayuyu and Kagurabachi sale numbers. I mean, this could be a low week for all we know, but still very, very interesting to see. And yeah, I don't have too much else to say. I just want to talk about this interesting situation where both Kohei Horikoshi and Gege Akutami were recommending some interesting manga. And yeah, that's really all we have here. So thank you guys for watching. If you liked it, hopefully mind liking the video and subscribing. But with that, yeah, Mama U's pretty cool and Kagurabachi is too.